Okay, this is sketching tutorial number 3, construction geometry and constraints for beginners. It's broken up into activity 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do it, so I'll move these instructions over to the hidden monitor, and I suggest you watch what I'm doing and then follow these instructions yourself. Okay, so I'll move this guy over. Where is it? Move this guy. I'm having trouble grabbing this thing there. Move this guy over there. I got Fusion up. So first activity is create the basic shape. They want you to do a sketch. So make sure you're in design. You've got a new project. You could click this tab and get a new project. I like to just close the tab a bunch of times and then you have a new project. Anyway, so make sure you're in design, click this create sketch. This thing here, they're asking you to use the XY plane, which is the green and red lines. So you click that. Then I'm going to zoom out a little bit with the scroll wheel. So this is a pretty cool tutorial here. I kind of like this one. So I'm starting to get the hang of this program. So you're just going to draw some lines and then add constraints to them later. It's pretty good. So you start a line. First one's going to be at the origin. The second one, drag it out, you know, about so. Okay. Then go up about here, and then go here and purposely make these not right angles, all right? Like that. And this one here, I'm going to go back to the axis and then back to the origin. All right. So some of it's black and some of it's blue. This line is black and this line is black. And basically, your sketch is not done until you have all black lines. So I have some constraints. Like this one here is a horizontal constraint. It added that for me. And then this one here is a perpendicular constraint. It added that. You could click it and delete it if you want. Just press delete. And now I have to add it back, so I'll go ahead and do that. So perpendicular, and then it wants 2 lines. Okay, now that's perpendicular. So like when I drag this, let me see, if I drag this point, I can't do it. Maybe I need to finish it first before I can drag stuff. Okay, anyway, so let's add some more constraints. So you click the perpendicular button up here, and then you select lines in pairs, and it makes them perpendicular. And you just keep going like that. Okay, those are perpendicular, and let's see, this one, these two we could make perpendicular, but you can add too many constraints, and just watch. So I'll switch to equal now, and then adding items in pairs, like this line I want equal to that line in length. And let's see, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I'm going to click this. You could undo. Okay, what I want the top line to be horizontal. So you click this horizontal, vertical, and then this line. Now that line's horizontal. All right, now I want equal. I want this line and this line to be equal. And then I want this line and this line to be equal. And then I want, let's see, it wants you to put a dimension on here. So dimension, click this point and this point, add this dimension down here. I'm going to type in 500, enter, and it's kind of cool. So now, like, if you change this to say 400, because you specify these 2 lines to be equal, it changes them both. It's kind of cool. All right, and then we'll add another dimension at this point and this point, Oh, what's happening? One more time. This point and this point. I don't know why it's going out there. Depends on where you drag. Kind of odd. I want it out here, and this. I want this to be 100. Let's see what else. Oh, we need an angle. So another dimension. Let's see. Click this line and this line, and then just move the mouse over here, and it turns it into an angular dimension. Click there, type in 45 and press enter. And what else? I think that's it. So yeah, that's cool. And you change these dimensions, and they, it maintains all these constraints. It's pretty cool. So you don't necessarily need this line to be specified as vertical. Like here, I have a horizontal constraint, and here I have a horizontal constraint. I don't need a vertical constraint here because I have a perpendicular constraint, which, if this one's horizontal and this is perpendicular, then this line would be vertical. So you could add too many restraints and it would be redundant. Anyway, that's activity 2. Moving on to activity 3. Okay, some of these lines we want to be construction lines. Okay, we want to use them to locate other geometry. So you click this line and hold down. No, wait, I'm in the middle of a dimension. I gotta escape. Okay, escape. All right. So click this line, this line. No, wait a minute, we do that again. This line, you gotta hold down Shift and get this line, and they should both be blue. Then if you right click just anywhere in the canvas here, you get this menu. Go down here to normal construction. See, it turns them into dotted lines, which for a sketch means that they're construction lines. Okay, that means that they're construction lines, not hidden lines like in AutoCAD. Has a different meaning. All right, those are construction lines. All right, now we can use those lines to locate some circles. So, okay, so now click this circle thing and get the midpoint snap. See the little triangle there? That means that's a midpoint. And then come up here and get the square, which is the endpoint snap. Click that. So okay, so we used the dotted line, which is a construction line. We use that to locate the midpoint of this circle. Okay, then another circle. I'm still in the circle command, and it'll just do another circle. So get on, hold your mouse here until you get the triangle, which is midpoint. Then get the square for endpoint snap. Click, and yeah, that's it. So I'll escape. Now if I double click this dimension and change it to 50, you see the circles change because they're at the midpoint. This differs from the tutorial. The tutorial instructions say to add or it says that there will be a tangent snap. It says that there'll be a tangent snap here. I didn't get a tangent snap. In fact, I can't even add a tangent snap. And I think it's because you really don't need one, because if it's at the midpoint, then it's going to be tangent, because this construction line goes end to end. So maybe that's just a version. Like if I try and add a tangent snap or a tangent constraint, click this tangent button and then click the circle and the line, it doesn't do it. I think because it doesn't need it, because midpoint is good enough. Anyway, once again, it could be they've updated the software or something. Anyway, that's the circles. Okay, next thing is a fillet. So you go up here to, it's under modify. You're not sketch, where like it says in the instructions. It's under modify, then fillet, and click this, and then keep going and click this and this. Okay, then key in 100, and if you do all 4 like that, then they're associated with each other. They're equal. I guess you could add an equal constraint later, I guess. But anyway, so now if I change it to say 50, you know, they both change. I'll change it back. Okay. And what else? We have to, what do we do now? What do we do? We do an extrusion now. Oh, wait a minute. This thing is blue. Why is that blue? The circle's blue. Shouldn't be blue. Shouldn't be blue. Okay, this line here needed to be equal to this line here. And for some reason that made my circle black, which means it has enough constraints. So I don't know what happened, but anyway, let me just test that. So yeah, I might have to redo it a couple times. It's kind of a little bit weird. Anyway, so everything's black on the sketch, so that means, wait, this thing turned blue again. What the hell? I don't know why this is blue. It keeps turning blue. Alright, I paused the recording and I think I had too many circles. I think I had 2 circles on top of each other, so I deleted all my circles and I redid it, and everything's black and it's working. Alright, now I can finish the sketch. Okay, then the next thing they want you to do is do a push-pull. Select these 3 planar faces and drag this guy up to 50 millimeters and press enter, and there we go. So I can hold down shift and drag with the middle mouse button and I can orbit around like that. Looks good. All right. Okay, now another sketch. So click the create sketch button, click this plane that we're going to sketch on. I'll hold down control and middle mouse to pan over, zoom in a tiny bit. Okay, now we're going to draw a line from, get it to do the center snap, so you should just see a little blue circle there, and then on purpose put this line just on a grid point, just kind of approximately there, and then do the next one, get the little circle for the circle snap, for the center snap. Okay, and then escape, yeah, escape to finish that. Okay, now these are 2 more construction lines that we're going to use to locate holes. So we click it and hold down shift and click the second one to select them, and right click in the canvas and do this normal construction thing. Turns them into dotted lines, which is construction lines. Then click your equals constraint button and click this first construction line and the bottom line, and wait a minute, they're not equal. They're gonna, you want them to be parallel. So let me undo that. Okay, click the parallel constraint. Then this thing and this thing parallel. All right, then with the parallel constraint button still on, click this thing and this thing. Okay, those are parallel now. They're marked with, I think this is the parallel symbol. Let's see the parallel symbol here. See, this is parallel to that. This is parallel to, let's see it. I don't know, it looks okay. that's parallel. Let me undo that. And do it again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over here just so that it's, let's see, where's it going? I'm going to, let's see, delete this constraint. I think that was an equal constraint. Try and drag it now. Yeah, I had some kind of a funky equal to something. I had the two things equal to each other. That's right. That's why they were moving like that. Okay. Okay, great. Not sure. Yeah. Okay, now parallel. This thing parallel to that thing. Yeah, that's parallel. Let's do this one parallel to that one. There we go. Great. Awesome. This one's parallel to that one. This one's parallel to that one. Super. Okay. Now that was the that was activity 2. So moving on to activity 3, we're going to use this construction line that we just created here to do some circles. This is pretty cool. I like this. So first circle is going to be at this end point, and you're going to key in 50 and press enter. Okay, then do another circle and draw it. So move the mouse around until you see the triangle, which is midpoint snap. Okay, then use the mouse and click just anywhere like that. Okay, then do this again, get endpoint snap and click just anywhere, and then move this around until you get the triangle, which is midpoint snap, click anywhere, and then do the endpoint for the center and just anywhere. Okay, now they're blue, which means they need more constraints. So you go to this equal constraint, click it. Now click the first circle and the second circle, and it makes them equal in diameter. And then click this second circle and the third circle with the equal constraint still on. It makes those two equal. And then click this one, and then this one again, and this one. Okay, they're all black, which means they have enough constraints. That's cool. I like that. And then if you go over here and you, okay, so I can escape out of that constraint thing. And now if you double click this thing here and you make it 60, all 5 of them get bigger. It's cool. It's great because often when you're designing parts, you know, you're going to have sets of holes that are all the same. So, and the other thing, you know, you can change lengths, and you know, you want certain things to stay the same, like this 45 degree to stay the same, but the length of this thing change. It's pretty cool. For a lot of kind of design, a lot of, you know, established ways of doing things, it's very fast. Now, once again, it's kind of constrained. If you're doing something that you want to be much more flexible, this might not be the best tool. But for a lot of kind of standard kind of design, this is great. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is use those holes to extrude something. So I'm going to click that little edge between top and front to get it to turn, the viewport to turn. Okay, then we're going to do a, I think I need to click finish sketch. Yeah, I forgot to click finish sketch. Okay, I'm done with the sketch. And now we go to push pull, press pull. Okay, click this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. Change the operation. Go over here to this extrude dialog, change the operation to cut, and then drag the arrow so that it passes through the part, and click OK. And then shift middle mouse and we can zoom around. All right, capture the screen, right, with the Windows snippet tool, right? And assemble these into a PDF for me. Okay, that's tutorial 3. Good stuff.